In this video, we'll cover 7 things Azure promises you when you move to the cloud. What is high availability and how does it work? How does scaling actually happen? What makes cloud deployments reliable and predictable? And how do security, governance, and manageability fit together? By the end, you'll be able to explain each cloud benefit and know which one matters most for a given scenario on the exam. Your app just crashed at 3 a.m. A single server was handling all the traffic and its disk filled up. Nobody noticed until customers started complaining on social media. By the time your team woke up, you'd lost 4 hours of revenue. This is what happens without the benefits cloud services are designed to give you. Let's walk through each one. High availability means your application stays running even when something fails. Azure achieves this by spreading your workload across multiple servers and even multiple data centers. If one machine goes down, another picks up the traffic. Azure backs this with service-level agreements, SLAs, that guarantee a specific uptime percentage. A 99.9% SLA means about 8 hours of allowed downtime per year. A 99.99% SLA cuts that to under an hour. The trade-off, higher availability costs more because you're running redundant infrastructure. Scaling means handling more load without breaking. There are 2 kinds. Vertical scaling means making a single machine bigger. You start with 2 CPUs and 4 gigabytes of RAM. Traffic increases, so you upgrade to 8 CPUs and 32 gigabytes. It's simple, just resize the VM. But there's a ceiling. Every machine has a maximum size. And while you're resizing, there's usually a brief restart. Use vertical scaling when your application isn't designed to run on multiple instances. Horizontal scaling means adding more machines instead of bigger ones. Instead of 1 large VM, you run 4 smaller ones behind a load balancer. Traffic spike hits, you add 2 more. Traffic drops, you remove them. This is what VM scale sets and app service auto-scaling do. The advantage, there's no ceiling. You can keep adding instances. The trade-off, your application needs to be stateless, or at least handle shared state, because any instance could serve any request. Reliability means your system keeps working even when entire regions have problems. Azure has data centers in over 60 regions worldwide. If you deploy your app across multiple regions, a natural disaster in one location doesn't take you offline. Azure's global infrastructure handles failover automatically if you configure it. Reliability is about design, spreading risk across fault domains, availability zones, and regions. The trade-off, multi-region deployments add complexity in data replication and routing. Predictability has 2 sides, performance and cost. Performance predictability means your app behaves consistently. Auto-scaling ensures you always have enough capacity. Load balancing distributes traffic evenly. You're not guessing whether the next request will be fast or slow. Cost predictability means no surprises on your bill. Azure gives you tools like the pricing calculator, cost alerts, and budgets. You can forecast spending before you deploy. The trade-off, you need to actually use these tools. Cloud costs spiral when nobody's watching. Cloud providers give you security tools, but you still have to use them. Azure offers DDoS protection, firewalls, encryption, and identity management out of the box. For governance, Azure Policy lets you enforce rules across your entire organization. For example, no one can create a VM larger than a certain size, or every resource must have a cost center tag. If you need maximum control, IaaS lets you manage your own security stack. If you want the provider to handle more, PaaS and SaaS shift that burden. The trade-off, more managed services mean less control over the security details. Manageability is about how you interact with your cloud environment. There are 2 dimensions. Management of the cloud means what you can do. Auto-scale based on demand, deploy from templates, get automatic health alerts. Management in the cloud means how you do it. The Azure portal, the CLI, PowerShell, REST APIs, or infrastructure as code tools like Terraform and Bicep. The more you automate, the fewer 3 a.m. phone calls you get. When to lean on this? Always. If you're clicking through a portal to deploy production workloads, you're doing it wrong. Here's how to remember all 7 benefits. High availability keeps you running. Scalability handles growth. Reliability survives disasters. Predictability removes surprises. Security protects. Governance enforces. And manageability keeps you in control. Next up, IaaS versus PaaS versus SaaS.